Welcome to Online Sports Talk. This is it. We are about a week away from the NFL draft, and I have yet to do a mock draft. So today we are going to do the 3-round Detroit Lions mock draft based on if I was the GM, just for some fun. Now, this is the first time since I've been doing this that we are at the bottom of the first round, and that's both good and bad. It's good because it means the Lions are good. It's bad because I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea who's going to be available. And obviously the Lions still have some needs, or else we would have won the Super Bowl. But I don't know where we're going to go. So let's get into it and have some fun with it. All right, so we're going to be doing this with Pro Football Focus's 3-round mock. I'm not a subscriber, so I don't get a full 7-round mock. But honestly, do you guys care about me going beyond, the first 3 rounds anyway? Maybe not. So let's enter the draft. All right, now we're going to see who the computer picks for the other teams here. And I think we're going to see first 4 picks are going to all be quarterbacks. That's my assumption. So let's see what happens. Caleb Williams, Daniels. Yep. Oh, okay. Okay. It was only the first 3 picks, and it had JJ being the third quarterback. So not Drake May. So when we get down to us here, we'll scroll up and see. We'll go back up. Let's look at this real quick. So JJ McCarthy to New England. I personally don't think that's going to happen. I think JJ McCarthy will be the 4th quarterback. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was taken at pick 4, but because somebody like Minnesota or Denver trades up for him. Arizona getting Marvin Harrison Jr. is a pretty safe bet. Chargers taking a left tackle makes a lot of sense to me. I could see the Chargers doing that and trying to build around the run to help Justin Herbert there. So I think that's solid. The Giants taking Drake May, no surprise there. Malik Neighbors to the Titans, no surprise, help out Will Levis out there. Dallas Turner to the Falcons. Okay, another solid pick. I could see that. Chicago taking a wide receiver makes sense, and he could be one of the best wide receivers. Obviously, the second wide receiver taken in this, no, third. But he could be the second best wide receiver in this draft class for sure. Jets do need offensive line help, so that's a solid pick. The Vikings going with an edge. I could see that. Maybe playing best available here, but they do need a quarterback, and they're going to be starting probably a rookie quarterback this year. So I don't know. Quinyon Marshall at corner for the Broncos. Again, if there's a quarterback on the board there, I think they're going to go with a quarterback. I don't think they're going to take Quinyon Marshall. That's just my thoughts. Raiders taking a tackle makes a lot of sense. Saints taking a tackle again makes a lot of sense, especially if you're looking at a quarterback need. Putting offensive linemen around helps. Brock Bowers will help over for the Colts because Anthony Richardson's going to need help there. Another corner going to Seattle. Interesting, interesting. I don't know what their secondary completely looks like, but yeah, that's an interesting pick in my opinion. The Jaguars going with the tackle. Byron Murphy going with the interior defensive lineman. Okay, interesting. Graham Barton for the Rams. Yeah, they could always use more offensive line help, but last year their offensive line was a little bit better than anticipated. Steelers getting a wide receiver to help out Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. I feel like an offensive lineman, but at this point, there's so many offensive linemen that are gone. There's a guy I wanted down there at 22, Chop Robinson. I like Chop Robinson. I think the disruptive nature he has in the pass game makes him a great situational defensive end. Cooper DeJean is another guy I wanted for the Lions. And he is going to the Vikings here, so that's not ideal. Deny Mitchell for Texas stays in Texas to go to the Cowboys. Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma goes to the Packers. They sure up that offensive tackle spot. Nate Wiggins to the Buccaneers. Darius Robinson to the Cardinals, and then Leatu Latu, probably saying that wrong, an edge rusher to the Buffalo Bills. So then that brings us to the Detroit Lions. Now, there's some good names here that I'm already seeing. I personally like Troy Franklin, just not necessarily for the Lions. Um, he could be a good one. Oh, it's not giving me all the information. That's a bummer. I thought it was going to give me more information here, but just give me no analysis, no trends, none of that. Um, so I am of the mind that the Lions do need a red zone style wide receiver, but they also need corner really bad, and I think they do need another edge rusher. I would not be upset if they took a interior defensive lineman. However, they already have Ali McNeil and DJ Reader, so that's not necessarily a huge need there. Um, so I really would love to see them get an edge rusher who can complement Aiden Hutchinson. That would be ideal. Um, Kool-Aid there, not bad. I like that. Um, Sainer still down here. I love Mikey Sainer still. I think partially because I'm a Lions homer. I know he's a little undersized. I think he ran a 4.640, so not the fastest, but for a nickel corner, I think he would be really good. Gamer. We already know he's a gamer. He can do some great things in crunch time. He had no problem playing against Ohio State the last couple years, who have arguably the best wide receivers in the league. He had no problem against Washington in the playoff this year. So I personally like him. Um, Looking through here some more. Very interesting seeing how they have guys ranked. Very interesting. Um, yeah, I mean, I I don't know if they would go with McKinstry here. I love the name, obviously. Yeah, not a lot of interceptions. I think the Lions like playmakers. Um, yeah, targets were way down this year, obviously because he's a good corner. You know, let's see. What do the trends say? Trends do have the Lions taking him. We could go with it. Let's do it. Jackson Powers Johnson's an interesting one too. I could see the Lions doing this and having depth on the offensive line, which to me is a huge part of how the Lions build their team anyway. We arguably still have one of the best offensive lines in football. Um, I could see doing something like this. We have two aging guards. Can Jackson Powers Johnson play guard? I'm not so sure. Again, I don't know a ton about him. I've seen him in some mock drafts going to the Lions. It would be nice to see them continue to keep that a strength, and to only get younger would be nice. That Oregon connection with Penei Sewell might be nice as well. Um, Kool-Aid McKinstry should also be a good one. I'm gonna roll a die here. Are they taking corner? Let's see. Okay, I got no. So we are going to go with Jackson Powers Johnson here. And let's see. Oh, McKinstry went to the Ravens in this mock. Sanders still went to the Titans. And obviously, I don't think I can offer a trade because I think you have to be a member in order to offer trades. So, yep, there's a lot of guys gone there. All right, so now let's see what we got here. Best available, Jonah Ellis here. What is his trend? Lions has him for the Lions. How many sacks? 13 sacks last year. So he could be a good one. A lot of hurries. I like Jonah Ellis. That's a good one. I do like that. Any good corners? Again, I think edge really helps corner though. So one that would be interesting. So Western Michigan has this kid here. A lot of hurries. A lot of hurries. Um, could be an interesting one just because he's local. So the Lions would have a better look. They'd obviously get to bring him in. I don't know who they brought in for the local days and things like that. I'm assuming he could be one of those guys. Um, I love Junior Colson. Where does it have him in the trends? Chargers. What a shocker. Blake Fisher. That's an interesting one. Obviously, I already took an offensive lineman, though. But Blake Fisher's an interesting one. Hmm. Yeah, I really think I'm going to go Jonah Ellis here. Let's look what corners are available. Anyone stand out to me? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. All right. Yeah, I think we're going for Jonah Ellis here. I think that right there would be a nice piece. You still have some other situational guys, you know, you got Houston, you've got a lot of guys that can kind of step in and do well. Davenport, who knows, maybe he'll step up and be a good player. Oh, Junior Colson's still there. The homer in me wants to take Junior Colson. It really does. Do we have another pick in the third? I don't think so. I think we just have the one. Yeah, just the one. Okay. And Blake Fisher's still there. And I would love to get a guy who could step in for Taylor Decker in like the next year or so. I don't think they're going to do that though. Hmm. Hmm. Kyrie Jackson and could go with that Oregon deal. Another Oregon guy. You know what? I think I'm going to go Kyrie Jackson. I want Junior Colson, but yeah, let's do the corner. Let's do it. All right. I think this could be good. If Brad Holmes, no matter what Brad Holmes does, I feel pretty confident in what he's going to do. Personally, there's some guys I would love to see the Lions go out and get. I would love Zach Zinner. I think if he never would have got hurt, he would have been probably a second round pick. Because I think Zach Zinner's great, and I think his pro days and things like that would have been off the charts. Hardworking guy, so, that's what I would have loved to see. But honestly, if we walked out of this draft with a depth offensive lineman who's going to be a starter in the future, we walked out with an edge rusher who can get pressure on the quarterback consistently opposite Hutchinson, and if we get a corner who can step up and be a solid starter, then I would feel thrilled, especially if that all happened in the first 3 rounds. Obviously, there's more to go in the draft here. I personally think that if they did this, you could see a guard being taken also. Obviously, Jackson Powers Johnson could step in for Ragnow with his foot issue. You could then maybe get also a Zach Zinner, maybe in the 4th or 5th round. If you can get Zach Zinner to step in and replace Glasgow or the new guy we just got from Baltimore, down the line, because those guys are, up there in the age. Who knows how many more years those guys have? I think you've now set yourself up for another solid run plus depth at offensive line. And we all know this team operates based on the offensive line. Last year, when they had key injuries at the offensive line, they struggled. But when they had 4 of their 5 starters, they pretty much won every game. So again, I think it all starts up front. I anticipate that's going to continue to be a staple of this team in the future. And, I think Brad Holmes set that tone in year 1 when he took Penei Sewell, which I loved that pick. You can go back and see on this channel. That's who I wanted us to get that year. That's who we got. And, the rest is history. So with that, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that I did all right with this? Would you have went another route? Let me know in the comments below who you would have picked and why. And yeah, with that, go Lions. Can't wait to see you guys next week. As we get closer to the draft, maybe I'll do another video. Probably not a mock draft like this, but yeah. So with that, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.